There was a grandfather getting onto a metro train, and in the process, his wallet fell from his hand and went onto the track. So he jumped back on the platform, and when the train left, he started screaming, "My wallet has fallen." One young man jumped down and retrieved it and gave it to the grandfather. The grandfather opened it. The young man saw it is empty. He said, "Grandfather, your wallet is empty. Why did you create so much of noise for it?" The means of purifying the mind is bhakti. Even Shankaracharya said, "Shuddhayati antaratma Krishna padam bhoj bhakti mrite." This antaratma will not be cleansed without bhakti. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Krishna bhakti vina chitta shuddhi nahi." Without Shree Krishna bhakti, without bhakti of the Lord, the heart doesn't get purified. So this bhakti that is being talked about is not something that is mushy, your grandmother used to do it and hence you do it. There's such a tremendous scientific reason behind it. If we can grasp that, we will develop faith. Now, when we get into the realm of bhakti, we need to understand that we have our eternal relationship with God. There was a grandfather getting onto a metro train, and in the process, his wallet fell from his hand and went onto the track. So he jumped back on the platform, and when the train left, he started screaming, "My wallet has fallen." One young man jumped down and retrieved it and gave it to the grandfather. The grandfather opened it. The young man saw it is empty. He said, "Grandfather, your wallet is empty. Why did you create so much of noise for it?" Grandfather showed him the picture of Shree Krishna in the wallet. He said, "When I was an 8-year-old, my father gave me this wallet as a birthday gift, in which he put the picture of God. But at that time, as a little child, I was not interested in God. Closest to my heart was my own father. So I put on top of that picture of God the picture of my father. But then as I became an adolescent, a girl entered my life, and I lost that attachment to my father and became attached to the girl. So then I took out my father's picture and put the girl's picture. But with the passage of time, she went this way and I went that way. And then I got married to somebody else. So my wife became dearmost to my heart. I took out the picture of the girlfriend and put the picture of my wife. But then, slowly as time passed, my wife grew old and she left the world. And now my son became the dearmost to me. So I took out my wife's picture and put my son's picture. But when he became a young man, he married. Now my daughter-in-law was at home. I was living with them until I realized that they had their own life in which I no longer had any relevance. So I moved into an old age home and I removed my son's picture and had only God's picture left. So all these relationships keep on changing. And the one constant in it all is your relationship with God. In fact, if you take a longer perspective of many lifetimes, then Shankaracharya's statement will become applicable. Kate kanta kaste putra sansaro yamativa vichitra kasyatvam kaha kuta ayatas Tattvam chintaya manasi bhrataha bhaj govindam govindam bhaj mudamate. Shankaracharya says, O soul, whose father, whose mother, whose sister, brother, husband, wife, you have been making these relationships in every lifetime. Now, where are your relatives from your previous life? Do you remember? Who was your father? Do you know that your father had 4 legs? If you were in the animal species. No, Swamiji, I have no idea who was my father, where he is gone. Likewise, all your relatives of this life will be dispersed. O soul, think where you have come from. What is the purpose of your life and where are you supposed to go? Or you'll waste this life just attaching your mind to the worldly people, as you have wasted innumerable lives before this. So remember who you are. This world is all temporary. It's like when you travel in an Indian train. You create temporary relationships because it's a long journey if you are going from Howrah in Kolkata to Chennai by Coromandel Express. So many people come and sit by chance if you are in sleeper coach, where are you going, sir? I am going to Bhubaneswar. Where are you going? I am going to Vizag. Okay, if you come to Bhubaneswar, come to my house. If you come to Vizag, you come to my house. They've become such bosom buddies. He says, my wife has given pedas, you please eat. The other says, I have got santras, you please eat. Now they start boasting. One says, I have got 4 bungalows in Bhubaneswar. The second says, I have got 5 factories in Vizag. Because they know that you'll never meet this guy again. So say what you like. You meet the biggest gapodis in Indian trains. One guy says, I'm India's #1 Joshi. The other says, I won in Olympics gold medal in 1956, when India never won a gold medal. So they go on and on and on. And when Bhubaneswar comes, he starts tying up his luggage. The other exclaims, Sir, what are you doing? We were having such a nice time. Please continue with me till Vizag. He says, I've got work in Bhubaneswar. If you enjoy my company, you get down with me here. Arey nahi Baba, I've got work in Vizag. Then please continue. And my ticket here is saying Bhubaneswar. If I continue, that ticket checker, he will come and find me. So his ticket was only till there. Likewise, everybody has their ticket cut. Your eternal relative is the Lord. Sache sakha hai hari hi hamare mata pita meet subandhu pyare. Bhulo n bhai din raat gao Govind Damodar Madhaveti. नाता भला क्या जग से हमारा आए कहाँ से कर क्या रहे हो सोचो विचारो हरि को पुकारो गोविंद दामोदर माधवेति प्यारे जरा तो मन से विचारो क्या साथ लाए हो क्या ले चलोगे जावे सदा यही हमारे गोविंद दामोदर माधवेति. So our relationship is with the Lord. He does not believe in imposing himself. And that is why he hides himself and presents before us the freedom to forget him if we so wish. That freedom is necessary because without freedom, there can never be love. A machine cannot love. The microphone cannot say, I love this Swami. Because it doesn't have a choice whether it loves or doesn't love, it has to do its work. Only that person can love who has the free will to choose. God has made us to love him. He has given us the free will. So he hides himself until we choose. Start choosing him. And then he starts revealing that he was always there in our life, supporting us, even when we were not believing him, even when we were saying, I am a communist and God is the opiate of the masses, he was still helping us along. It is like the Cherokee custom. When a youth in the Native American Cherokee tribe has to pass into manhood, there is a ritual, a ceremony. This is called the Cherokee Passage of Rite for the youth. On one selected night, the father of the lad says, I am going to blindfold you and take you into the forest. You will not tell anyone what happened this night. You will keep it an absolute secret. The father then, having blindfolded his son, takes him into that dangerous forest in the mid of the night and then makes him sit on a boulder where the forest is extremely deep and tells him, I will now be leaving you here. You are not to touch your bandage or try to open it. Spend the night here. In the morning when there's light, you will make out the difference. And that time you can open your bandage. Now imagine in a forest to spend the night with a blindfold is like making yourself as ready meat for the carnivores. But the lad does it because he wants to become a man. And in the morning when the light penetrates, he then opens his bandage and discovers his father was sitting there all the while taking care of him. Likewise, if you and I study the events of our life, we will see from time to time the hand of God was there guiding us, whether we believed it, whether we realized it or not. So many of you, if you think, what is it that made you come to America? There was some divine destiny at play which was going on. Of course, God doesn't completely show his hand, but he is there. And hence in the Mahabharata, on the last 18th day, Shree Krishna said to Arjun, today, Arjun, when the battle is over, you get off the chariot first and go and stand at least 30 yards away. Arjun blindly obeyed without understanding the reason. And when Arjun was away from the chariot, Shree Krishna jumped off. And the moment he did that, the whole chariot exploded. Arjun was shocked. He said, Maharaj, what happened? Shree Krishna said, Arjun, the divine weapons of Bhishma and Dronacharya and Karna, this chariot could no way have borne the brunt of them. I was maintaining your chariot. That is why the moment I jumped off, it exploded. So the Lord is always with us. When we realize that, it will make such a huge difference.